the other verbs. We were talking about only the verb to be. Now with the rest of the verbs, we have other verbs, for example, eat, live, any of the other verbs. Usually they all go after the verb, okay? Never. And then usually and sometimes can go also at the beginning of the sentence. So we have there an example. So we have other verbs, not the verb to be, okay? Not the verb to be. So we have here he, yes. He never listens to me. Okay, so we have he never listens to me. So we have here never, that this is the adverb, and then the verb listens. Listens because it's he, she, it. So if you see, it's all the way around. Yeah? With the verb to be, it was first the verb to be and then the adverb. But then with the other verbs, with the rest of the verbs, we have to use first the adverb and then the verb. Okay, so we have he never listens, and we can write the teachers, okay, sometimes check exams. Okay, the teachers sometimes check exams. No S because we have teachers. Okay, so we have here the adverb of frequency, and then we have here the verb. That would be in affirmative. So first the adverb of frequency and then the verb. First the adverb of frequency and then the verb. When we're talking about other verbs, not the verb to be. Now, let's see with the negative. What happens with the negative? We already know that the negative is with an auxiliary. Okay? So we have he never listens to me. He doesn't. We are not going to use never because it's not going to combine with the negative. He doesn't often listen. No S because it's here. Listen to me. He doesn't often listen to me. So here we have the adverb of frequency and then the verb. So again, first the adverb, then the verb, and then here the negative. Let's think about teachers. Which is the auxiliary for teachers in negative? The teachers or they, the teachers don't. Sometimes let's change for another one. Doesn't usually check exams. Okay, so we have here usually, then the negative, and then the verb. So we separate, you see, in the negative, auxiliary, adverb, verb. Auxiliary, adverb, verb. So for the negative, because of the auxiliary. With the verb to be is different because the verb to be doesn't use any auxiliary. Then the question, how do we write the question? Those, he, let's always listen to me. So we have here the auxiliary that we use for he. Then after he, we use the adverb and then the verb. Over here we have the auxiliary for the question. Does he always listen to me? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. And for the teachers, auxiliary to the beginning, do they or the teachers do they usually or hardly ever, let's change, hardly ever check exams? Do they hardly ever check exams? So we have here auxiliary, then we have the adverb, and then we have the verb. That would be for all the verbs that are not the verb to be. Auxiliary, subject, adverb, and verb. That is the way we use the adverbs of frequency that are on page 3.2. So you're going to help me answering 3.2, 133, language pack. And now let's check this other thing about making arrangements. This is pretty easy. It says, are you free tonight? What would you like to do? When? What time or when would you like to go? So you're going to use would like to make arrangements, suggestions. What time is good for you? What time does it start? And then it says, how about going to the movies? Would you like to go to the movies? Use how about plus infinitive. Would you like to plus infinitive. Would you like to, do you want to? Would you like to play tennis tomorrow? Do you like playing in general? Do you like playing tennis? And then you respond to these suggestions. Great. Sounds good. That's a good idea. Okay. There's a problem. Sorry, I'm busy. So when you can't and when you can. So let's just check the phrases. Okay, so we have arrangements. What time would you like to go? So check what time, and then we use would you, the subject, like to go. Well, actually the object, no? And then another way, making suggestion. Over here we have how about, ¿qué te parece? Going. Then we use ing. How about going to the movies? How about going to a restaurant? And then would you like to? Would you like to go to the movies? So this is what they are explaining there, the two structures. How about, and then we have ing. How about eating a taquito? Would you like to go to a taco restaurant and eat something? So for the structure of how about, we use ing. How about watching a movie? Would you like to watch a movie? Would you like to eat a taco? How about listening to music? How would you like to listen to music? Well, and then the answers, as I said, the ones saying yes or no. So with that, you're going to help me answering page 133, then 3.3. Those are the two topics we're missing, and hopefully we'll meet next week in the classroom.